welcome back. You're watching the Data Labs. My name is Dilip. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to create a login page for a spreadsheet or Excel based automated application. Suppose you have developed any application or complex Excel spreadsheet and you want to apply restriction so that only authorized users can access your application, then this feature will be very useful. So here I am going to utilize an existing data entry form, and in this data entry form we will add the feature of login form so that whenever user will open this application, it will ask user credentials to proceed with data entry job. If user will provide the correct login and password, then it will open the application for further usage, otherwise it will get terminated. If you want to learn how to develop this data entry form, then you can refer the description box. I have already provided the link of tutorial. So to add the login form, we just need to move to the Visual Basic application window. So let's click on developer tab, and then under code group just click on Visual Basic application button. Now you are in a Microsoft Visual Basic for application window. Here we need to add a blank form so that we can design the login form. So let's click on insert menu, and in insert menu you just need to select the user form. Just click on that, and once you click on user form, it will insert a blank user form. You can see that, right? So on this form we need to design the login form basically. So let's start designing. So first of all, let's select this form, and in properties window, this is the properties window, we just need to change the properties of this form. So first of all we will change the name of the form. So let's change the name FRM login. Okay, and the back color would be white. So let's select the back color white, and the caption should be login to data entry application. Okay, and let's change the height and width of this login form. So the ideal height would be 198 and the width would be 385. Okay, so we have done with this form. Let's insert a frame on this form. So to insert a frame, just click the toolbox, and in the toolbox just click the frame here. Just select this frame and draw a frame over here. Okay, so now we have added a frame on our user form. Let's change the properties of frame. So just select this frame and go to properties window, and here we need to change the border color. So let's change the border color to blue highlight, and the border style should be single, so this, right? And the caption would be login credentials. Okay, let's increase the font size. So font size should be 10. Click OK. So now we need to insert an image over here. So let's select image control here and draw an image, right? And let's visit to properties window and select the picture here. Select, just click on ellipsis, and let's select this, the user icon, click on open, and now let's change the properties picture size mode. That should be a stretch, and the picture alignment should be center. The border color should be, actually there should not be any border color border over here, so just select none. Now it's done. Let's insert two text box. One is for user ID and one is for password. So let's select this text box and draw a text box over here. Copy this text box and replicate this for password. Okay, and here we need to insert icon for user ID and one is for password. So for icon, let's insert image control. Just draw this image control over here, reduce the size. Let's change the properties. So let's keep the name as it is, like image2, because we are not going to refer this in coding. And the border style should be none. And here let's select the image, so picture, and this should be user ID. Okay, click on open. Now the picture size mode should be stretch, and the height would be 24, that is as it is, like 24, and the width should be 26. Just copy this and paste it and replicate this for password. Just change the picture, so just click on ellipsis icon, and this is the for password. Okay, so now we have done with the user icon and the password icon. Let's select this text box and change the name as txt user ID, txt user ID. Okay, and the control tip text, and that would be enter user ID. Okay, and the width should be 144. Okay, let's select the text box for password, change the name, that would be txt password, right? And the height would be 18 as it is. Control tip text should be enter password. Okay, and the width should be 144. So here basically whenever user will enter password, we do not want to we do not need to show the password, we just want to show the star. So in that case we need to set the properties, that is password character. So the password character should be star. Okay, so now we have done with the user ID text box and password text box. The pending part is we need to insert two command button over here. One is to log in and one is to cancel, clear basically, right? So let's do command button over here. So select the command button, just insert it over here, just copy this, paste over here, and this would be for clear. Okay, let's select the first one, and the name would be cmd login, and the accelerator key should be L. Okay, and the back color, let's select any of the color. Maybe we can select this one, this color, and the caption should be login. Tooltip text, click to login. Okay, now select this, the second command button, and the name would be cmd clear. Okay, and the accelerator key should be E, and back color, let's select any of the color, maybe this one, and the caption should be click to reset. Okay, and the caption, sorry, at least this should be the control tooltip text, and the caption should be clear. So now we have done with all those required controls. It means we have completed the designing part. Let's start coding. So before moving ahead and start writing the code, let's move to module 1 window, module 1 basically, and let's declare a global variable. So public login instance as integer. So basically we are declaring this variable, the global variable, and that is login instance, to count the invalid instance attempted by user. So if the total attempt will be more than 3 times, then it will terminate the window. User will not be able to enter the user ID and password in that particular session, right? So in that case, user needs to restart that application, the Excel application, and then try with the login ID and password. Okay, so now we have done with the declaration, the global variable. Let's move to FRM login and let's start writing the coding. So let's select this form, click on view code, and just delete this. We do not need to write any code on frame 1 underscore click. In general, from this drop down, just select this user form, and from events just select the initialize. We do not need to write on click events, just delete this. Now we need to write the code to initialize all those controls. So let's start writing. So me.txt user id dot value is equal to blank, me.txt password dot value is equal to blank. Okay, and let's set focus on txt user id. So me.txt user id dot set focus. Okay, so it means the cursor will be available in txt user id text box. Now we have done with the form initialization. It means whenever this form will get loaded into RAM, in memory, the controls, basically txt user id and txt password, will get cleared, and the cursor will be available in txt user id, so that whenever you start typing, you will enter the user id in txt user, and then you can move through tab or maybe with mouse. Okay, so this is done, form initialization. Let's move to FRM login and let's start writing the coding on login, the cmd login. So just double click on cmd login. Let's create some room over here. So here I'm going to create two different IDs. One is for admin and one is for user, so that you will have a clear idea how can you create a multiple user ID and give the permission to other users so that they can access according to their access level, basically, right? So first of all, let's declare a variable dim user as string. Okay, and then second one is dim password as string. Now let's assign the user. So user is equal to me.txt user id dot value. Okay, and the password will be me.txt password dot value. So now we have assigned the value user id in user and the password in password. Let's start writing the conditional code. So if user is equal to admin and password is equal to again admin. So this is the first user. Let's close this line here and start with or, and just copy this line from here to here, and this is for a different user, that would be user. Okay, user, and the password would be user. Then so basically here we have created two different user ID, one is admin and one is user. So either one user can access with these credentials like admin and admin, or user or users. Okay, so if like suppose user has entered a correct password and correct ID, then what we need to do, we need to unload this form. It means we need to close the login form and we need to show the application, basically Excel application dot visible is equal to true. Suppose user has not entered the correct password, then we need to go with else condition, and here we need to end if. So if someone is not entering the correct password, then there are two scenarios. one is like the first time user will enter the incorrect details, credentials basically, or the second scenario would be if user will exceed the limitation, that is 3 times the attempts basically. So in that case we need to handle into different conditions. So as we have already declared a global variable, so let's start with if login instances is less than 3, then msg box invalid login credentials, let's try again. Okay, we okay only plus vv critical. Let's reduce the size so that you can see the entire coding, and invalid login details. Okay, now we need to increase the count of login instances. So login instances is equal to login instances plus 1. So let me check the spelling. I think I'm missing some. Okay, login instance, so that should be login instance and login instance. Okay, suppose user has exceed the limitation, that is total 3 attempt. In that case we need to pass is different message. So the message box would be message box you have exceeded the maximum number of login attempts. Okay, and vv okay only plus vv critical, and let's, and the caption would be, title would be invalid credentials. Now we need to come out from this application because we need to terminate this. So unload me, and then this workbook dot close save changes is equal to false, and the application dot visible is equal to true, and login instance is equal to 0. So this is the code we have done with the cmd login click. Let's move to the frm login. Just double click on it and just click on clear button, and let's write the code to clear. So first of all, what we need to do, we just need to copy the code available in form initialization. So just copy this and just paste the same code in cmd clear underscore click event. We have done with the cmd clear code. Let's move to the frm login. Now here you can see that there is a close button available in this particular form. So what we need to do, we need to just disable this particular closed form so that user will not be able to close this form after clicking on this button. Okay, so let's move to the code window, and here just select the user form, and from here query closed. Okay, and to disable the close button which is available on user form, we just need to identify the close type, whether user is closing this form with the help of close button, or user is closing this particular form with the help of coding or some other method, right? So here we need to identify. So that is the method would be if close mode, if the close mode would be 0, close mode is equal to 0, then what we need to do, we need to just cancel the close basically. So cancel is equal to true. So this one liner code will disable the close button which is available on the form. So now we have done with all those codings required for login form. Let's move to the this workbook here and just select this workbook, and on workbook open event we just need to write the code. So the code would be first of all, let's initialize the variable, the global variable which we declared. So login instance would be 0. Now we need to hide the application, the Excel application, so that user will not be able to see the Excel application once user click on a macro enable button, right? So application dot visible is equal to false, and now we need to open the frm login. So frm login dot show, press Ctrl S to save this, go to debug, compile. So I think we have used incorrect variable name. So this is login instance, not the login instances. Let's debug again, and again the spelling is incorrect here. Again debug, everything is looking good now. Save this, close this, and now save this file and close this file. Let's move to the folder where this application is available. Like here you can see that this is automated form in Excel. Just open this application. Now you can see that this application is open now, but still we have not enabled the macro as well as we have not enabled editing. So first of all, let's click on enable editing, and now it will ask enable content. So once we will click on enable content, our macro will get fired, right? So let's click on enable content. Now you can see that Excel application is hidden and use login credentials window is appear. So let's enter the ID, that is admin, and the password, that would be admin. Click on login. Now you can see that it's working. So this is all about how to create a login window in Excel, and you can add this feature in any of the application or any complex spreadsheet where you just want to restrict the access so that user can access only those data which has been granted by you. Okay, so thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe and comment. Have a great day. Bye bye.